Everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to do the last issue of Final Crisis Rogue's Revenge, issue number 3 by Jeff Johns and Scott Collins from DC Comics. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Rogues. I believe, in my opinion, of course, the Rogues are probably the most consistent supervillains in any superhero universe. I guess they have mostly always the same roster, with Mirror Master and Weather Wizard, etc. And and in this comic, it shows how really good they are, but also they are, let's say, they have a code, but they are, killers. They kill when they have to, right? They don't show any remorse at all, but they have a code. They respect the Flash and other people as well. But let's not forget, they are super villains. Anyway, let's move on. So we see a small flashback how, the Weather Wizard, came to be, and he accidentally killed his brother, or maybe on purpose. When he touched the wand here, he was the part that he came to his brother. His brother ratted him out to the police. There's police outside waiting for him. He touched then the wand, and then an accident happened here. And and then we switch to the now, when this particular outpost or weather station, if you can call it that, is now a home, or a home base for the Rogues. And so they're going in, but Martin here, Mark Martin, Weather Wizard, still feels the pain about what happened. He feels guilty to a certain degree. He has some trouble because, well, see, here's the flashback here, and he says, and Captain Cole says, "Hey, we make it quick, Martin. Just keep it together." And Martin says, "I'm trying," with tears in his eyes. But then young Trickster here, this is the new Trickster, by the way. He's making a mistake. He's a kid. He says, "Hey, what the gag is with this place? How the hell are we supposed to find the Kid Flash wannabe using this rusty whatchamacallit?" And Martin instantly punishes him for his insolence. And I like that. There's no crying, no moaning, just immediately punishment. And it's great stuff. Anyway, so they have a computer here, and they can, through this computer, they can, how do you say, spot vibrational anomalies across the north continent. And then, so they pick up some vibrations, and then Mirror Master uses his mirrors to find Kid Flash, because, well, check out my other reviews if you know what's going on. Basically, they are on the revenge. That's why they call Rogue's Revenge, to dispose of that, of Inertia, who is now called Kid Zoom, I guess, because Professor Zoom took on him under his wing, training him to be, well, just like him. And the Rogues are going to find out. And they notice that he is now wearing Kid Flash's costume. We have Zoom, and some of the Rogues are not very happy with that. But Weather Wizard says, "Hey, let's go ask him why he is taking that little shit under his wing." Moving on, and then we see the training party where he destroys a part of the train. I like that. So, but Inertia is his own guy. He's a young dude, but he has a different philosophy. He says, so Zoom says that he needs to slow down because he says you can move as fast or as slow as you want to. And when you ride time, even the slightest of movement can result in unimaginable power. So he's using this snapping thing, and for long-time readers, or maybe people who like or know this new Zoom, when he does this, he creates a sonic boom, destroying everything in his path. As one of his arsenals, weapon is in his arsenal, and I like that. So he's training to, not Kid Flash, to do that, but then nothing happened. So he is a little bit stubborn. He says, I don't want to do it anymore. But then Zoom is getting a little bit pissed off. And he says, so Kid Inertia says, why are you joining with Libra and the secret society? He says, so Zoom says, more tragedy for everyone. They survived this. It makes them stronger. The Flash survived. Damage survived. Bart Allen did not. You push too hard. You're going to help me make the ones left better. You'll attack the Titans, the Flash, as a ghost of their failures. So, but Inertia says, nah, I don't want to do that. He says, basically, it's Zoom wants to create more tragedy so that the ones he quote unquote helps get better. He says, anyway, he says, let's kill the Flash. Let's kill the Flash's kids. No, you have to learn, or you need to learn. And then we see the Pied Piper here, and then he is using more tricks. He says, feel the internal clock, the tick, tick, tick. You can change yours. You can change others. Listen to it. Tick, tick, tick. I hear it, Zoom. But then, out of nowhere, mist is coming, and the Piper says, showtime. And so Zoom says, don't run. You hit one of these train cars moving too fast, you splatter. And then ice is falling down, and then a giant rock of ice crashes before them, crushes them almost. And then, the rogues are here. And they say, we make this easy, Zoom. We only want the boy. Run away. And Zoom says, rogues. I hate rogues. And then he punches the rock, and they come out, and they're having a fight. And Zoom saves Inertia. And Martin here says, you're taking on a sidekick. Let me guess, Kid Zoom? Yeah, it was too obvious. I like that. I like the colors, by the way. I like the art of Scott Collins. I'm a big fan of him. He has an unusual style, but also a unusual color palette that complements his art very, very well, in my opinion. But here, going on along with the story, Zoom is way too fast, of course. And so he threatens Zoom, and he says, you should have retired a long time ago. Want to do this. But then the sound of the Piper comes, and they are standing still. They cannot move, because this was one of those tricks that he learned fighting the Flash. He says, the vibrations of my tuning fork are attacking your voluntary nerve centers. And so don't do it. And then I assure you remember it, Colt. McCulloch, I still owe you for what you did to my parents. Long as it ain't a kiss. Probably meaning that, he's gay. Well, he is gay, by the way. And so Piper kicks him, and then is this, crashing sound of, glass being kicked in. That's really cool, by the way. But then he is being stabbed from behind by someone, and that someone is none other than Libra. Now, I don't know the whole full story with this whole Libra event. I only know that he is, how do you say, an agent of evil working for Darkseid, I believe. Not entirely sure, by the way. I need to find out need to find more about that. So Libra says, they say you are able to conduct the powers of anti-life equation through your instruments, that you are amused to the new gods. I say blasphemy. You're nothing more than a musical bard with nowhere to play. And notice this kid here. So the rogue says, Libra, and his baby? That's not Libra's kid. That's mine, says Weather Wizard. All right. So Libra explains, basically he wants them to join his evil army. And he says, well, everyone has a place in the secret society. And then Mick says his voice. Yeah, he has some kind of, voice thing. When he talks, people listen. Could this be, oh my God, I forget. There is a guy that works for Darkseid, and he has also the ability to use his voice and to influence people. I forgot his name. Could Could he be it? I'm not sure. Okay, there's more questions for me. I just noticed that. Handsome something something. I don't know. There's some kind of a name of that character. I forgot. Never mind. Let's move on. Um, anyway, so so we have the flashes here, or the anti-flashes. What's Libra doing here? Wasting his breath. The rogues will never be part of his. But then Libra says, your son bounced around for a while until your mother came forward to claim him. But she didn't want anything to do with you, not after what you have done. Do you want your son, Weather Wizard? If you do, you pledge your loyalty to the god of evil. If not, I'll drink his blood in sacrifice. See this face. So cool, man. So, but then Weather Wizard says this. When I was a child, there was only one person who looked out for me. One person who wanted to help me. My brother. My brother was the only good thing in this world. I murdered him. I murdered my brother because I couldn't stand the idea of going back to prison. And if I killed my brother, Libra, if I electrocuted the only person who ever cared about me, what makes you think I care about anything about that child? I really like that. You know, we see how, like I said, how far the rogues can go if they really wanted to, right? But then Libra challenges him, and we see Mike and Turmoil. And so there's some kind of a standoff, I guess, if you can call it. But then somehow Kid Zoom snaps and he says, enough with this. And he goes to the kid and he says, nap time, and he wants to snap it. And then we see this face of Martin. And then this is happening. And I thought to myself, where is the kid? Is he vaporized? Is he dead? Is he destroyed, disintegrated? And then Libra totally in shock. And he doesn't see the kid anymore. So kid's Zoom goes completely nuts, and he is way stronger than I thought he was. And so Zoom says, "I'm doing. What do you do? I'm doing what you told me. I'm listening to my clock, tick, tick, tick." And it's like Weather Wizard said, "I'm gonna be your sidekick. I'm not Inertia. I'm not Kid Flash. I'm Kid Zoom, and I'm gonna cause a lot of tragedy." That's so cool. And he also changed his colors of his costume, and he immediately attacks Libra again, and because he wants to kill him with the spear. I love the viciousness of this of all these, with Professor Zoom and also with Kid Inertia or Kid Zoom, whatever he's gonna call him. And Libra, he can do nothing. He's getting his ass kicked. I love it. But then Zoom interferes and he says, "Stop, you will listen to me. Tragedy cannot be random. It must be calculated." I love that part, It's just not mindless violence. But then Kid says, "No, you're taking it far. You are not taking it far enough, Zoom. You want to actually work through it. I don't." And then his voice also changes into the same voice as Zoom, and he says, "I want them to lose. I want him to be to be in pain." And then he does something like this. So somehow he reverses time, and then we see the tragedy of Zoom. There's a whole story about that I'm not going into that. And then he takes away his speed or his time powers, because Zoom is not really a speedster. Well, not in the traditional way. And then he sits back in the chair. Where the chair comes from, I have no idea. But this was the guy that was, before he became Professor Zoom, before of this the tragedy with the cosmic treadmill that changed him into Professor Zoom. And he says, "I need my powers. I need purpose." And then before he can do anything, the rogues come in, and he says, "Yeah, there's not such thing as honor among thieves. Don't you guys get that?" And then he attacks. He says, "I can run through fire." And Mick says, "Not my fire." I like that. So Kid Inertia has no idea who's he's going up against, because these guys are veterans when it comes to fighting speedsters. They have a lot of knowledge, a lot of battle moments between them and Flash and Kid Flash, and whatever speedster they come across, right? They are veterans, if you will. So so they're attacking him simultaneously and from different sides. But um, Kid Zoom is no slouch, and he says, "You Coldfield might slow me down, but it won't stop me cold. Nothing will." So I'm going a little bit of a rant because, well, not because of this scene, but this reminds me of the fact that in modern comics, Catwoman stopped free flashes, free, and they were on the influence of someone that slows down them, all of them. But Catwoman just punched them out or kicked them out after each other, which is ridiculous because even if they are slowing down, as you can see here, they are still incredibly quick, and they have a lot of velocity. No way in hell Catwoman can take out three speedsters on her own. She doesn't have any powers. Yeah, she's a good martial artist, but she cannot, take out a speedster. Not even at half speed. There was a time that the Flash explains that his powers, he is so fast, he takes only a picosecond or a nanosecond to move. It is, he's incredibly fast. That's why he's the fastest man alive. Moving on from that part, but I wanted to, show you how ridiculous modern comics are today and modern writing. Anyway, moving on with the great stuff. So yeah, the Rogues are going, fighting back, and this is happening. They're about to teach this kid a hard lesson. So then this is happening. Oops. Yeah. So, oh yeah, by the way, before I need to read this. So Zoom says, this isn't for Kid Flash. This isn't for my son. He says, this is for one messed up. Well, I'm saying messed up, but he probably says something else. Messed up year. Yeah, probably. So yeah, they probably said, hey, fuck COVID, although this comic is way before COVID, but just talking about shitty year, and they need to vent their frustration. And Kid Zoom or Inertia, yeah, he's on the other end of that stick, and he's being killed by the Rogues, as you can see here. And they also talk a little bit to the Piper, let him go because he is, helping them, so he doesn't really know if he wants to be a villain or a good guy. And also Libra is here, and he's not all too happy. Basically, he's talking with the Rogues, but the Rogues, say, piss off and don't come back. And if you are coming back, you're going to be in deep trouble, etc. And, Libra says, well, evil is going to win, basically. So they are going away. They're leaving the body for the police department. And it says here, tell the Flash we're even, the Rogues. And then there's a lightning, right? And it's starting to rain again. Well, the lightning is through the whole comic, through 1, 2, and 3. It's a sign. It's a sign that someone is coming. Someone is coming back from the dead. And we probably all know who that is. So yeah, the Rogues are going to another lair. And that lair is beneath the Flash Museum where nobody's going to look. And they are reminiscing a little bit what happened. And they also talk about, with respect to the one that comes back, none other than the real Flash, Barry Allen. And so even Marston says that he talked about the fact that the Flash treated him like he did with Grodd and Kadabra. He never gave us a break. He did when I reformed. He's going to try and put out the fire. He can be back. There's no way. Lightning can strike as many times as it wants, Heatwave. Trust me on that. And then we see him. And we see more of him. And we see who it is. So they say, What does this mean? You really going to hang it up? You really going to run away? Says, the trickster. Colt says, I don't like running, trickster. And it won't be a matter where we run to if the Flash is back. Libra's right. We have unfinished business he want to get on. The rogues can outrun him. So once the sky are back to blue, the game's back on. And if the Flash is really back, there is no more rules in this universe to follow. So yeah, this is going to be the return of Barry Allen in Flash Rebirth, and that's the end of the book. Fantastic stuff. I have a great time with this book. Great quality when it comes to colors and art, and a fun revenge story. I like that. Like I said, I like the rogues. I like that they are, doing whatever it takes to get the job done, no matter what. Guys, let me know what you think about this comic. Leave a comment in below this video and give me a like. It helps me a lot. Makes me, helps with the algorithm. Let's leave it at that. See you later. Bye-bye.